good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Mauler Talk. I'm Ralph Williams. It's great to be here. We're here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Every Wednesday, 4 p.m. for Mauler Talk. We talk Pittsburgh Maulers, USFL football. I have a nugget for you today that's very interesting. Do you know that they're starting up a spring football league that's actually this year going to compete with the USFL? It's called Major League Football. And one of the teams or I don't know the names of the teams yet because they just announced it yesterday. And I don't even know when they're going to start or anything like that. But I do know one thing, and that is that the Major League Football League has decided to hire their very first head coach. They're doing the same format, it looks like the Maulers. They're putting it in a controlled environment for the first, I guess, season. And I guess a lot of these leagues like this are starting to go with the same format. And that format is as simple as this, and that is that they're going to go with this controlled format here with these things. So now they've already named a head coach, but the team hasn't been named yet. And guess who it is? It's Jerry Glanville. Jerry Glanville. Yeah, Jerry Glanville. Remember him? He was the former coach of the Houston Oilers and the Atlanta Falcons, and before the Houston Oilers became the Tennessee Titans. He was their head coach there for a while. And he coached in college. He coached New Mexico State and a few other places. Last time we saw him, he was coaching in the XFL. He was an assistant. So now he's going to be the head coach of one of these first teams in the Major League Football is what it's called. Okay, it's called ML League MLLP, Major League Football. All right, which means it's going to be supposed to be Major League Football of some kind. Now I don't know if Pittsburgh's fielding a team yet. I have no clue. If they do, then you're going to have it right here on this program. Either here or on Sports Corner, which you can join me every Tuesday here on YouTube. We're here every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here. You know, Tuesday is a great night for some great sports shows. 7 o'clock p.m. every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Bethel Park TV, channel 32 if you live in Bethel Park, or on their Facebook page, Pittsburgh Sports Line. Is live on Facebook as well on their page, and they do a very good job. It's hosted by Alan Levine, the Talking Machine, and his co-hosts are my friend and co-host on Sports Corner on my TV version, Smoking Jim Frazier, who's also on the Boxing Authorities, and I'll talk about those shows later on. But Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, and Nick Callis all are part of that show. And then at 8 o'clock here on YouTube Live is Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. I have guests. We talk about numerous things, and we had a lot to talk about last night. With the Steelers making a lot of moves, the Pirates getting ready to start up, Pens getting ready to make some trades. The Riverhounds have started, Pitt baseball. So lots to talk about in sports in Pittsburgh. And right here on YouTube, Tuesday night, 8 p.m., myself with Sports Corner, and we'll do it right here every Tuesday night. And then at 9 p.m., part of Mancini Media, my producer and friend Mark Mancini from Los Angeles and co-host on my Pittsburgh Black and Gold podcast. Mark basically is part of this program as well. It's on Blog Talk Radio 412. With Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher. And they had an interesting guy on last night who was talking about the draft, and we're going to try to have him on this show as well next Tuesday. I'm working on getting him on as well. So we'll go from there. And don't forget this coming Friday, I have a very interesting show coming up this Friday at 7 p.m. the way I see it. Wait till you hear what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Kennywood Park, okay? Now, I checked the Facebook page. a lot of people have said that the experience lately at Kennywood has been awful. I guess because of staff shortages last year. I don't know what their plans are this year. I don't know what kind of basically if they have enough people, or are they still hiring? Do they need more people? That's the question about Kennywood. And that's the question all across the board anyway, is the fact that nobody seems to be able to find help anywhere. Nobody wants to work, which of course we know about that. But here's the interesting scenario. I'm handicapped. Okay. I can't get on rides at all. Most of them I can't ride. I can ride maybe a couple. It would not be feasible for me and some of my handicapped friends and some senior citizens and some people who really want to come to the park with their grandchildren or whatever, but don't want to pay full price for a ticket. Okay. Kennywood has not considered this. And I don't understand why they're pushing our business away. So Friday, we're going to discuss this, and I'm going to come up with an option for Kennywood. Either they put general admission in, or we start a protest. Okay? Don't go there. This is what they're doing to handicap and senior citizens and people like that. So that's Friday, 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. We're going to talk about it. All right? Kennywood. You have to take out a loan to go to Kennywood this year. And if the experience is poor, why go? All right. So anyway, we're here to talk about Pittsburgh Maulers. We'll talk about Kennywood on Friday. All right. First, we're going to talk about the top 10 USFL players were announced this week. Okay. Quarterback Kyle Sloter. Guess who is number 9? Former Steeler wide receiver Eli Rogers. And he plays for the Tampa Bay Bandits, who, as you know, is coached by former Steeler assistant Todd Haley. Todd Haley was also Kansas City Chiefs head coach at one time, and he was an offensive coordinator in Arizona when they went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers. All right, next, Jamar Summers, cornerback, number 8. Number 7, okay, K. Vanetta Perpin, wide receiver, New Jersey Generals. He is number 7. On the list of the top 10 in the USFL. Chris Orr, New Jersey Generals linebacker, number 6. Mike Weber, look at this. New Jersey Generals with all these players. You know who coaches them? Mike Riley. Remember Mike Riley? Used to coach Nebraska, Oregon State, a couple different tenures. They're now the LA Chargers. He coached they were then San Diego Chargers at one time. You can put your comments here in the comments section. Don't hesitate to comment on how you like the show. Are you in favor of the Maulers being here? If the Maulers come back next year and they're here in Pittsburgh, are you going to support them? Or are you going to let them ride in the wind like we did before? Now that the Pirates are back, would you go to a Maulers game? Okay, so you see what I'm saying? All those questions I have for you, feel free to comment in the comments section right here. Mike Weber, running back, New Jersey Generals. All right. Kevon Walker. Now, here's another former Steeler. He's an edge rusher, and he's another one. He came from the XFL a couple years ago. He was the leading tackler in the XFL, believe it or not. And the Steelers saw him, so they picked him up. They kept him on the practice squad for the most of the year. He played in the preseason. So now he's gone, and he's with the USFL. All right, next, Devon Smith. Running back for the Maulers. He's number 3. Devion Smith. He's number 3. Number 1 best running back in the XFL. So, which means Kirby Wilson, who, as you know, is the head coach of the Maulers, I would imagine is planning on doing a power running game because he's a running backs coach. Now, I don't know what kind of offense he's going to set up otherwise, but I do know one thing. He was once a running backs coach, and this is his first go-around as a head coach. He's been around the league. He's been in college. He's pretty knowledgeable of the offensive game. So let's see what Kirby Wilson does. No, excuse me, Jordan Tavel, quarterback. Oh, I'm sorry, Tavatu. Yeah, okay. He's number 2. He's a quarterback. Defensive end, David Bellamy. All right, so Devin Bellamy is his name. Devin Bellamy, defensive end, New Orleans Breakers. All right, so he's the number one player in the USFL. All right, the Maulers recently had a supplemental draft last week, and I have all their picks here. So let's sort of go over them a little bit. I know Kirby Wilson's strengthening up the defense, and you know what? He's doing old school. Run the football and play good defense. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of coaches still do that, even though most of the coaches nowadays, they want these fancy offenses. They want all kinds of different, fancy offenses, passing game, flea flickers, all different kind of stuff, that kind of thing. All right, round one, the Maulers picked Ethan Westbrook, defensive tackle, West Texas State. Round two, they picked Keith Gibson, cornerback out of Baylor. All right. Round three, Dale Warren, outside linebacker. All right. University of Tennessee, Chattanooga is where this guy came from. Round four, Winston Dimmel, fullback, Kansas State. So you see what I'm saying? Kirby Wilson's prepared to run the football this year, and there's nothing wrong with that. And he has a fine quarterback to manage the game. Your comments in the comments section here. Mauler Talk. I'm Ralph Williams from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Studio 808 in the Allentown section of the city of Pittsburgh. We're here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. to talk about Pittsburgh Maulers and the USFL. Excuse me, I have a creak in my neck today. I don't know what's going on here, but I do. All right, round five, Malcolm Elmore. He is a cornerback, Central Methodist. Round six, Abdul Beecham. Now, I don't know if he's related to Calvin Beecham, but it's Abdul Beecham, offensive guard, center, Kansas State. Round seven, Ramaz Oned, kicker from Nevada. There you go. I heard he led the NCAA somewhat in kicking. I'm surprised he's not going into the draft. There hasn't been something a little bit better for him. Round eight, tight end Hunter Tedford. Now, those of you who don't know, that's Jeff Tedford's son. Jeff Tedford has been a college coach forever in 6 years. He's been in a lot of different teams all across the country and the NCAA. Now his son out of Utah is the tight end. Max Duffy, punter, Kentucky. Darius Maragu, defensive tackle, defensive end, and an offensive tackle. He could play three different positions. He's out of Kansas. So it looks like Kirby Wilson is doing what most simple coaches would do. Stack up the lines of scrimmage. You have to get your defensive tackle, your offensive line, and you got to stack up your line of scrimmage. You have to control the line of scrimmage. They have a reasonable quarterback, the guy from Richmond that they drafted in the first round, which of course most everybody did the quarterback thing in the first round. And also you have some other players here. I'm going to go into some players of notoriety here. That's coming up later. But let's look at the first round picks of all of the teams in the USFL. New Orleans Breakers took Justin Johnson, tight end out of Mississippi State. Tampa Bay Bandits, their coach is Todd Haley. And New Orleans Breakers coach is, if I remember correctly, it's the kid from North Carolina. Yeah, let me look here. I got his name here. Oh, his name slips my Larry Fedora. That's right. He used to coach North Carolina, and he was fired. He didn't do real well there, but we'll see what he does in New Orleans. Tampa Bay Bandits, of course, I told you they're coached by Todd Haley. And guess who their first round pick was? Jerron Jones. Remember him? He was on the team a few years back with the Steelers, and he's from Notre Dame. He's an offensive tackle. They also are, let me see here. Okay. Let me make sure we got everybody. Yeah, we got everybody on that one. All right, good. Okay, Birmingham Stallions, their pick. Ryan Williams Pope, offensive tackle, San Diego State. Okay. Then Michigan Panthers. They picked in the first round Warren Saba, defensive back, East Carolina. Houston Gamblers picked up Josh Avery, defensive tackle, Southwest Missouri State. Philly Stars, round one, Canara Vogel, offensive tackle, Northwestern. New Jersey Generals, Tarshawn Render, defensive end, Middle Tennessee State. So there you are for the first round picks of all the teams in this year's supplemental draft of the United States Football League. Now, I want to get into the supplemental draft notable names, people who were picked up by Pitt, West Virginia, Penn State, ex-Steelers. So we're going to go into that in a few minutes. But first, I want to remind you this coming Sunday, 9 p.m., Sports Corner on Facebook will be live. Also, don't forget 9:30, The Way I See It, the 30-minute version, will be live for that as well. And that's on Sunday and every Sunday on Facebook. Now, tomorrow night, you're going to need to dial this phone number, 347-205-9631. The reason is because I'm going to be doing a show with my producer and co-host, Mark Mancini. It's called Wrestle Talk. 8 o'clock start time. We were supposed to start at 9. We're going to start at 8 tomorrow. 347-205-9631 is the number. You can listen into the show. We have a lot to talk about. WrestleMania, AEW, Chris Jericho starting a new faction, whole lot more, some of the local scene, and we also are going to have a special guest, and you'll see tomorrow. 347-205-9631 is the number to tune in to Blog Talk Radio and Wrestle Talk with myself and Mark Mancini. And that's every other Thursday. Next Thursday, we will have the Black and Gold podcast with myself and Mark Mancini. We'll be talking a lot of sports. My special guest, I'm working on getting Luther Dupree on. And 2 weeks from then, I'm working on getting Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host from Sports Corner, the TV version. So we have a lot going on. The draft is coming up in April. We're going to be having some discussions about that coming up on all my Sports Corner shows, including the TV version. I'm working on getting a special draft show together with the guys from Steel City Sports World. We're going to work on that as well. All right, let's take a look at Pitt. Pitt has one person in the that a former Pitt player in the XFL that was drafted in the supplemental draft, Paris Ford, round 4, cornerback. He was picked up by the New Jersey Generals, Mike Riley, the coach. West Virginia, Keith Washington, the second. He's another cornerback. Went to the New Orleans Breakers and Larry Fedora. Penn State, Sharif Miller, defensive end. Another one went to the New Orleans Breakers. He's from Penn State, defensive end. Ex-Steeler, Jerron Jones, I mentioned earlier, offensive tackle, Tampa Bay Bandits. Gannon, listen to this, wide receiver, quarterback, Tyler Pelka, not Pelko, Pelka. Okay, quarterback, wide receiver, he's from Gannon up there in Erie. Okay, my another one of my second cities. Houston, he goes to the Houston Gamblers, and Larry Sumlin is their coach there. All right. So next is round 3, Dontra Tillman, defensive end, IUP. He went to the Birmingham Stallions. So that's some names of notoriety from some of our local colleges who have decided to go to the USFL. Now, let me bring up the speed a little bit. Their opening game is coming up real soon. It's going to be April 16th. The networks are going to be Fox, ESPN. They're also going to be on Paramount Network. And you're going to have to find, not Paramount, Peacock. They're going to be on the Peacock Network as well. Check local listings. Find out if you can watch. All the games will be played this year at Legion Field in Alabama. The championship game and the playoff games are going to be played, believe it or not, at the NFL Hall of Fame field in Canton, Ohio. Also, don't forget that this next year, the USFL teams, if the league survives. Now, a lot of the odds against the league surviving at this point are not really that good. Okay, a lot of people have put this down. Now we got this new Major League Football League that's coming up. That's going to be here. They've already announced one head coach for one of their teams, which hasn't been named yet, the team, and that's Jerry Glanville. I don't know who else is out there that could coach their other teams. All I know is that now the USFL is going to have a little bit of competition. Next year, the XFL comes back for a third stint. You want to know something interesting? It's not owned this year by Vince McMahon. He sold it. It's owned now by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, actor, former professional wrestler, does more acting than he does wrestling. He is going to be handling or owning the XFL, and now he'll be here. So now you have a large variety of football, which should be good for you if you're a football fan. I love football. I watch football anytime. Would you? So you can comment in a comment line. Would you go to a Mauler game when the Maulers get here? I've said before in prior shows, I'll say some more. Those of you who are new to the show, the Maulers will be back next year if they make it for a second season, depending on how this first trial season goes for the USFL. The Maulers are looking at Robert Morris's field out in Moon. They're also looking at Rooney Field up in Duquesne and a few other places as well around the Pittsburgh area. So, therefore, that is where the Maulers are looking for. Would you go to a Maulers game? Would you support the Maulers? Would you take your kids to a Maulers game? I mean, I'm sure it would be nice for something to do. I know with gas prices going up sky high this year, I don't think little Johnny and little Mikey and little Stevie and little Susie are going to be able to go to anywhere this year. So a lot of families are going to be staying back home here and doing some, around the area kind of vacation. I know that's my plan because of these gas prices and the fact that, I'm getting married in May and my expenses are not very, very easy going right now. So what I'm saying to you is that maybe it would be nice for you next year, if that's where your budget is, to go to a Maulers game and do some local activities. Go to different places around the area here. It's great to see. All right. So also some programming notes. Saturdays, don't forget about the sports buffet on PCTV channel 21, Comcast 47, Verizon Cable. We have, or on PCTV, at 4 p.m., you can watch the Boxing Authorities with Luther Dupree, Smoking Jim Frazier, and Claudio Rosano. And then at 5 p.m., now this Saturday at 5 is going to be very interesting because it's not going to be Sports Corner. It's going to be the Year in Sports Review Extravaganza, which we had live on PCTV, and it's taped, and now it's out there. Saturday, 5 p.m. This Saturday, it will be on. 6 p.m., Steel City Sports World, Luther Dupree, Claudio Rosano, Smoking Jim Frazier. 7 o'clock, another version of the Boxing Authority. So you got 3 good hours of quality sports. Don't forget Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. on their Facebook page live. And if you live in Bethel Park TV presents Pittsburgh Sports Line. My co-host and friend Smoking Jim Frazier is a co-host on there. It's hosted by Alan Levine, the Talking Machine. Also Chip Hayner and also Nick Callis will also be on the program as well. It's every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And then at 8 p.m., you can come here on YouTube and you have Sports Corner with me, Ralph Williams. I'm going to let you know I got a special guest coming up on Tuesday. I'm working on a couple folks. I'll let you know who's going to be here on Tuesday night. Also, at 9 p.m. on Block Talk Radio, the 412, which is a local podcast with Dave Finoli and Chris Fletcher. The 412 podcast, hosted by Mark Mancini Productions, and it will be on Blog Talk Radio 347-205-9631 to call for that. Participate Tuesday night. Look, Tuesday night is dead for TV, dead for everything. So why don't you participate in these programs and watch these shows and listen to them? Because I'll tell you what, this is different media. Sometimes I get tired of the same old voices all the time on TV, don't you? Well, or on the radio or on the TV. How come I'm not on or how come myself, Dave, and all my other friends, how come we're not on the Sports Showdown or on the the Final Word or one of them shows. No one calls us. That's not fair. I mean, it's always the same people. So you get tired of hearing from them. You want to hear from us. You want to hear different voices. You want to hear different things. You want to see different opinions and listen to the different opinions about what goes on. So why not on Tuesday night? Why not on Saturday if you're not doing anything? I know Saturday's a big day for everyone to take out your kids and go out and eat and go places and things like that. I understand that as well. All right, kids get edgy. They haven't been out, but you got some people who are still sitting at home, still sitting at home from COVID. I just, I don't. You know what? I don't even want to. I don't even want to go there about COVID because you know what? It's really sad. COVID. That these people have done this and they're that scared. But we'll save that for the way I see it. Don't forget Friday, 7 p.m. here on YouTube Live, the way I see it. Also Sunday night, 9 p.m. Sports Corner, 9:30, the way I see it. And then every Wednesday, we're here, 4 p.m. with this show, the Maulers Talk. I am the only local sports talk show host that's hosting a show specifically about the Maulers and the USFL. No one else is doing it in this town. No one's on TV. No one's on radio. No one has even considered the Maulers. Well, I have. And I've taken an active interest in this and trying to promote them as well. All right. So, trying to see if maybe this time around they'll survive better than they did the last time around. And the last time around, interesting, I went to see them with my church. We got tickets. We went to Three River Stadium at the time to see the Maulers, and Jim Kelly was the quarterback for the Texas Gamblers or Houston Gamblers. Yeah, Houston Gamblers. And they went ahead, and let me tell you something. He threw passes everywhere. He ate up the Maulers alive. But then the Maulers didn't win that many games anyway, and they had fired their coach. We did have Mike Rozier on our team, who was the Heisman Trophy winner. It was sad that he really didn't make much of his hay in his professional career other than what's going on with this. So, that's basically how I became. And then the first game, and it was even televised, it was the Pittsburgh Maulers versus the Birmingham Stallions, and they threw snowballs and beer bottles at Cliff Stout. Now, Cliff Stout was the backup quarterback for the Steelers, and he had left the Steelers and went to the Birmingham Stallions. And I don't know what this big hate was about Cliff Stout. I thought Cliff Stout was a reasonably decent quarterback. But he, apparently decided to go somewhere, maybe for greener pastures, or he wasn't satisfied with the league. So decided to go to the USFL, and he got snowballs and beer bottles thrown at him when he came back to Pittsburgh. And like I said, for some weird reason, I have no clue as to why everyone did that, which I thought was quite amusing, actually. All right, one more time to brief you again. The Maulers will be playing all their games this year. It's 8 teams, 8-game season, playoffs, championship, and playoffs and a championship game. Now, all regular season games will be played at Legion Field in Alabama, and all the championship games or the playoffs and the championship game will be played at the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, on their field. So remember that this year. Next year, all of the teams go back to their home cities, and if the league survives, they will find a place to play and will start their season at their own home fields. Thank you for watching Mauler Talk. We had no comments today, which that is unfortunate, but I do appreciate you watching and viewing this here on YouTube. Come back every Wednesday for Mauler Talk. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate your support. Please subscribe. I would appreciate if you did that as well. Not many people have, but I would appreciate if you did. If you haven't, please subscribe. And please view this program as well. Spread the word. Call your friends. Call your cousin. Call somebody and get them to watch Mauler Talk every single Wednesday, 4 p.m. right here live on YouTube. You never know what I have to say. There's always something new going on. We'll see what happens next Wednesday, and I'll be back with more Mauler Talk Have a great day, and thank you for watching.